Have you ever pondered over the question of who should have the final say in matters relating to a woman's body? Is it the woman herself or the society around her? It's a question that continues to ignite debates and spark controversies. Often it seems, societal pressures and expectations can overshadow a woman's autonomy over her own body, challenging her rights and freedoms. Today, we delve into a case that has stirred up these questions once again, the Brittany Watts case. Now, who is Brittany Watts, you might ask? Well, Brittany Watts is a woman from Ohio who found herself in the midst of a legal storm that has attracted national attention. It all began when she experienced a personal and traumatic event, a miscarriage. At 21 weeks and 5 days into her pregnancy, Brittany lost her baby. The fetus, unfortunately, was not viable, a reality that countless women have to face every day. In the privacy of her home, Brittany made the decision to dispose of the fetus. It was a personal, intimate moment, one that was soon to be thrust into the public eye. This act, seen by some as a natural response to an unimaginable situation, led to an unexpected police investigation. But what happened next was something that Brittany, nor anyone else, saw coming. Brittany was suddenly in the eye of a legal storm. The initial charges brought against her were severe, including the deeply unsettling accusation of abuse of a corpse. This charge, typically reserved for those who violate the dignity of the deceased, was flung at Brittany with full force. Had she been indicted, she could have faced substantial penalties, including a potential sentence of up to a year in jail and a hefty fine of $2,500. A bleak future indeed. But let's step back for a moment. Here we have a woman already grappling with the devastating reality of a miscarriage, now being handed a felony charge. This was not a case of a woman carelessly discarding a life, but rather a woman in distress, at a loss for what to do in the face of a deeply personal tragedy. Was it fair to saddle her with such a serious accusation? Was it just? So we find ourselves asking the question, but was Brittany truly at fault here? Or was she a victim of a system that failed to empathize with her plight? Fast forward to January 11th, 2024, a day marked with relief and hope not just for Brittany Watts, but for every woman who has ever felt the weight of societal judgment in the face of personal tragedy. After careful deliberation, the grand jury in Ohio made a decision that would echo across state lines and even beyond. They declined to indict Brittany Watts. They chose not to add the burden of criminal charges to a woman who was already grappling with the pain of losing her unborn child. The grand jury's decision wasn't just a stroke of luck. It was the result of tireless work from a team of dedicated lawyers and reproductive health advocates who recognized the baselessness of the charge. They argued with conviction that Brittany was not a criminal, but a woman who had suffered a personal and emotional loss. They believed that she deserved empathy, not condemnation. They championed for her rights, her freedom, and her dignity. The charge of abuse of a corpse was dropped, effectively removing the threat of a potential prison sentence. A relief, no doubt, for Brittany, but this decision was bigger than just one case. It served as a precedent, a beacon of hope for women who found themselves in similar situations, women who were vilified for decisions they made in the face of unimaginable circumstances. But amidst the relief, one question lingered. What did this mean for women's rights? What did it say about a woman's autonomy over her body? The grand jury's decision was a victory, yes, but it also highlighted the fragility of these rights. It underscored the need for constant vigilance and advocacy to ensure that every woman's right to make decisions about her body is respected and protected. Brittany Watts was, at last, free of the charges. But what does this mean for women's rights and autonomy? With the conclusion of the Brittany Watts case, we are left with some key points to ponder. The decision not to indict Watts represents a pivotal moment in the ongoing discourse surrounding reproductive rights. This case reiterates the necessity for clarity and humanity in laws regarding miscarriages and the treatment of non-viable fetuses. It underscores the urgent need for a comprehensive understanding of the physical and emotional trauma associated with such experiences, especially for women of color who, research shows, are disproportionately affected by pregnancy-related complications. Moreover, the Brittany Watts case serves as a stark reminder of how the personal can become political. It shows how a woman's intimate, personal experience can be thrust into the public eye and become a matter of national debate. This case has sparked conversations about the rights of pregnant women, particularly those who are Black, in the wake of the overturning of federal abortion protections. The grand jury's decision not to indict Watts is not just about one woman. It sets a precedent and sends a powerful message about the rights of all women to bodily autonomy. It shows that the law, in some instances, can protect women against baseless charges, and it challenges us all to question, to debate, and to fight for our rights. As we look to the future, the Brittany Watts case prompts us to consider the ways in which our laws and societal attitudes towards pregnancy and miscarriage need to evolve. It pushes us to question the narratives around these issues and to strive for a society that respects and upholds women's rights. As we continue to question, to debate, and to fight for our rights, remember, your voice matters. So, what's your take on the Brittany Watts case? Leave your thoughts in the comments below.